not drive chasing in second when Ascot Girl has plenty in the tank as they turn for home.
I want to race. All right. I didn't read the topics.
September 9th, we came in a little early. Didn't tell Dan. Dan has a new addiction. Dan's addicted to horse racing.
No, I'm not addicted to horse racing. My problem is, I explained this on KFC Radio. Now that football's back, I've opened up like all my books again, and one of them has horse racing now, and that's a problem.
Clearly, it's a problem.
Yeah, we know, dude.
We recognized when we had to wait for the race to finish. Did you win?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
It's a pick 3 actually, so I don't know what's going to pay out. Probably not that well, but we'll see.
All right. Well, it's the rundown. September 9th. Portnoy is sick. So you got me.
Sorry, John. He must be pretty sick because he relishes the chance to say, "I'm a soldier. I'm a warrior. I'm powering through it." So for him to actually bow out, he must really actually be.
His problem is when he gets sick, he just gets a fucking box of Munchkins and just eats them. That's not like the best way to get healthy. I think kale smoothies and things like that are generally what the go-to is. But he's left a box of Munchkins. I believe on a recent rundown he ranted and raved about how he's the one who keeps the office clean and whatnot. There are bugs flying all out of this box of Munchkins. You'll notice I was just eating one. That's not stopping me. But there are bugs. It's all sugar. It's you catch more flies with glazed donuts than you do with vinegar. And they're everywhere now. But he'll blame it on us when he comes back, I'm sure. Anyway, right into the rundown. Kim Davis is the most entertaining person on this earth. She's electricity embodied. I can't get enough of her. I loved her when she was just telling gay people to go to hell when they asked for their marriage licenses and literally go to hell. And they were just screaming, "Do your job!" And she would just say no for like a week, I think she did. And then went to jail for 5 days. Her exit from jail, I mean, made my whole jail experience worthless. My Brady 4 stint in jail was the stuff of pussies. She came out to a rally. She came out to Eye of the Tiger with her husband, Farmer Fran, in the fucking overalls. She gave her tears. There were people in the crowd holding signs that said things like, "The Supreme Court is America's ISIS," and "New Holocaust?" ? It was the most electrifying place on earth. Kevin, you loved it. What do you got?
I loved it. I thought it was edited at first. I didn't think the music was real. I thought the internet did that. She actually came out to Eye of the Tiger. Huckabee raises her arms up like she just fucking won the WWF title. She's weeping. She's like the Pope. She had like an audience like the goddamn Pope. Forget about being the Kentucky marriage license person. This chick has a whole new career. Vince McMahon should sign her up. She needs to like run for office. Because it's scary. Because those people would vote for that chick. She's like a new rock star now. She actually has like a legitimate little bit of power.
I'll take it one further. I don't understand how she doesn't already have a show on TLC. I feel like this is a TLC show. Like, TLC loves to find just the fucking backwoods America and be like, look at these crazies. And like the Duggars, that guy, the Duggar guy, he like raped his whole family. That doesn't get talked about enough. And now you got, and then the Honey Boo Boo chick, like that guy, like the guy he was married to, was like
raped everybody.
There's a common theme here, and when we find out that Kim Davis is a rapist, don't be surprised.
This is like there's a vacuum.
Her husband looks like a pig rapist.
We need it. We need these people to watch on TV, and in comes Kim Davis and the guy who, I didn't even know that was her husband. That was her husband?
That was her husband. Her fourth husband.
Yeah, it's her fourth husband. That looked straight up like a Halloween costume.
Wait, hold on. She's had 4 husbands?
Yes, that's why she's...
But so she's holding up this
marriage. Yes.
And the morals of marriage, and she's had 3 divorces?
Yes, that's why she's awesome. That's why she's the best person.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, to have that kind of hypocrisy, I love this chick, too. I love her.
She's the best, man. It's like... And, like, the people fighting for her, like, oh, it's the end of religious freedom in the world. Like, or in the country. What are you talking about? It's the end of you just have to do your job. Like, you can't work at CVS and refuse to sell condoms because you're a Catholic. Like, you have to do your job. You can still practice whatever you fucking want.
She is so ridiculous. The Westboro Baptist Church is picketing her.
Oh my God!
Get the fuck out. Are you serious?
Insane. That's incredible.
They quoted, the Bible where it says that a woman shouldn't leave her man. So they're like, well, fuck you. You've been divorced too many times. So when you're at the Westboro Baptist Church on your ass, you know you fucked up.
That's incredible.
She's unbelievable.
The best. The best. I just want to wallow in it for 1 second. Just one more thought about Kim Davis. It's unbelievable.
Is there any doubt, by the way, that her husband came to the courthouse in a tractor? Like, or a lawnmower? No way he's got a real car. No chance.
Next up is Melo. Melo refused to pay his $15,000 fee, or her $15,000 fee, to a black porn star. I forget her name. I think it's Cashmere or something.
Jasmine Cashmere.
She went on a Twitter rant, gave out his cell phone number. I think he paid her very quickly right after that. Just a real bad look for your New York Knicks, Kevin.
I mean, it's just more of the same. It doesn't surprise me. She's threatening that she has a video, which I think we all can agree, at the very bottom of the list of people that you want to see having sex is Carmelo Anthony.
Ooh, disagree.
Well, first of all, there's no one I don't want to see having sex. I'd watch anybody have sex.
Okay, if that I understand. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to press play. I'm saying I don't want to see Carmelo Anthony's fucking Ninja Turtle head and his skinny fat body flopping around on top of the black porn star.
I do. That would be, and it would be hilarious if he sucked at sex.
He definitely sucks at sex. Of course. 100% sucks at sex. You think that Melo is in bed, he's the same guy in bed as he is on the court. And he's probably one-dimensional, he's probably really good at one thing, and the rest is a fucking nightmare. Doesn't make anybody better, doesn't get her off, and he just gets his. That's Melo in bed.
See, here's where you're wrong, Kevin. Because I don't think anyone read these tweets carefully enough. The tweet she says is, he didn't pay me $15,000 for eating this kitty emoji last night.
Correct.
Carmelo's just a millionaire big into eating pussy. So she gets hers. I mean, he's the exact opposite player he is on the court. He's just dishing out. He's like, come on over, let me just eat your pussy. That's all I want to do.
That chick charges $15,000 to get her pussy eaten?
I guess, dude. I don't know. I mean, it clearly said, it didn't say we fucked. It said to eat this kitty.
If that woman, who's disgusting, by the way, she's fucking
so gross,
so ugly. If that woman is getting $15,000 to get head, she's got the world fucking figured out. I tip my cap to that girl. Holy
But
shit.
That's why you can't have, like, that's why Melo's never going to win you a championship. Because the guy who's going to win you a championship, he fucks. Like Tom Brady fucks.
Yeah, Tom Brady's not going to pay some chick $15,000 to go down on her.
You need to be a conquering hero.
He's just gonna have Ben Affleck fire up the jet, and they're gonna go Eiffel Tower some fucking nanny.
But you need that conquering hero attitude. Melo just wants you to fucking put your feet behind your ears and let him suck your pussy for a bit.
He's not an alpha dog. He's not an alpha dog.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's why he's second tier. Him and Chris Paul probably does that too. Probably pays to lick.
No, Chris Paul's a mean motherfucker. He probably calls the chicks he's fucking fat to their face.
Oh, he's a junkyard dog. He's just even when he's eating pussy, just.
Chris Paul doesn't fuck around.
Chris Paul doesn't fuck. And I don't mean to backtalk Melo, because if I was a millionaire, I'd probably pay $15,000 to eat a chick's pussy who I really wanted to eat out, because that's who I am. But I'm not going to win you a championship.
But you also would have a better choice of woman there. Although I will say this. I saw the story on Black Sports Online, and that guy was like, this chick is a legend. So, that might be a white-black thing. Because it might be like their version of Heather Brooke. In which case, I'd be like, I'll give you $100,000 just to let me make out with you.
I did take offense to your anti-black girls in the blog. I'm very pro black porn star.
I'm not anti-black girls. I just said I don't peruse the ebony section.
Well, that's what I mean. I do. I'll take.
Oh, you're sick.
Well, I'll take a walk on the wild side, Kevin.
You're sick.
I'll take a walk on the wild side.
No, every now and then.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off.
I had a question with Kevin's blog. I had a point where I like to say, Kevin, I didn't like how racist you were in that blog. That's all I was saying.
You brought race into it.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote it. Next up, iPencil. Fuck. Apple invented a fucking pencil, Kevin.
Yeah, they did. They fucking invented that pencil. They invented the stylus that your dad used to have on his Palm Pilot back in the day. Apple, and you know what? I realize this, that I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I tweeted out Apple just sells you the shit you already own, like every 6 to 12 months. Our t-shirt business is a little bit like that. I'll admit. We do sell kind of the same t-shirts over and over and just, but Apple.
Dave's not going to like that.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Just the reason it works for us and the reason it works for Apple is because we unveil it with such enthusiasm. Dave will be like, buy this shirt because it's the best fucking shirt ever, and the dumb massholes all get riled up and they all buy it. It's the same thing with Apple. They could unveil a fucking rock. They could sell you a rock, and you'd be like, oh, it's the iRock. Holy shit, I gotta have that. Gotta have that. It's all about the delivery. Barstool Sports and Apple know how to deliver inferior products to their people.
And it's always the same guy. It's like, ever since Steve Jobs died, they just bring out the same guy with like the same button-down J. Crew shirt tucked in, a huge TV behind him. He's walking around. He's doing like the fake Steve Jobs, and everyone gets a little nostalgic. Like, oh, remember when Steve used to do this? And then they just fucking buy a billion Apple pencils.
How much is this pencil?
$99.
Oh, that's not so bad. I thought it was even like $400 or something. I'll drop $99 on a pencil, no problem. They got me.
I don't understand what you write it on.
Well, you know what's coming next, Dan? Paper.
Apple paper.
Next to the Apple Pencil.
I stayed silent on this one because Dave's going to be more mad about the t-shirts than he was about the other stuff. So, next up, Brandon Marshall. God damn it.
Here we go, John. Look at that. Another racist topic.
The circus comes to town.
Brandon Marshall says race played a factor in Tom Brady's overturning of his suspension. I don't even know who to throw it to first here because Dan is.
Go ahead. I want to hear Kevin. I want to hear Kevin.
No, Dan, because Dan likes to talk about Brandon Marshall's black cloud, racist son of a bitch. So we'll start with you because this is all you. You've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's just perfect Brandon Marshall. The season hasn't even started. Listen, I got duped by Brandon Marshall for a long time. You could go back and read blogs where I was like, he's the best teammate. He's figured it out. The dude he wants to be an analyst. He wants to be a talking head. He doesn't care about football. He pretends that he cares about football. He'll say, I just want my team to win. I just want this. He wants to be always, he wants everyone to always talk about Brandon Marshall. It's why he flew from Chicago to New York every fucking Monday last year to film inside the NFL. He doesn't want to play football. So if football's B and being this guy is A, and that's why he comes out and says this. I saw that he did the old trick where he was like, people are saying that it has to do with race. Dude, just fucking say it. Like, it's you. He was like, players I've talked to around the league are saying this.
I don't doubt that there were players that he talked to around the league. It was probably like his three buddies.
It's a cop-out.
That would be like if me, you, and Feidelberg agreed on something, and I was like, everybody on the internet is saying that this is the truth. That guy a few of his friends who were black guys were probably like, yeah, man, fuck that. I definitely agree that there's probably white people and black people probably definitely get treated differently in the NFL when it comes to these situations. I don't know if it necessarily applied to the Brady situation.
It didn't.
I don't think it hurt Tom Brady being the white, good-looking, golden boy superhero.
You don't think that played a factor in making an example out of him? Because two black quarterbacks did this last season. They fucked with the balls, and neither of them were just penalized at all.
I think being on the Patriots, who are habitual line-pushing, stepping cheaters, is why he was made an example.
Kevin.
I don't think that the NFL was like, let's go nail that white guy. Because that's never happened in the history of the world, John.
They nailed the Patriots. You're right. You're right. It wasn't a white-black thing, but it was being Tom Brady was the problem.
being the quarterback of the Patriots was the problem.
Being Tom Brady, yes, correct.
Yes, but if Tom Brady played somewhere else and did this, he wouldn't have been made an example of just because he was a white guy.
Right, so being Tom Brady was the problem.
All right, Porter.
Tom Brady's the quarterback of the Patriots. Being the quarterback of the Patriots is the problem. Tom Brady's the quarterback of the Patriots. Being Tom Brady was the problem.
This issue is about if Tom Brady was black and he was a quarterback of the Patriots, he would still be getting made an example.
I don't even understand how we're having this race conversation about this. This really doesn't even make sense to me. The fact that Brandon Marshall brought this up, like there were so many worse things done by black players that were not penalized nearly as harshly.
Yeah, that's why it makes
Ray Rice was overturned.
But this is back to Dan's point. He's saying this to be like inflammatory and controversial and look at me and listen to my show. I'm going to be in the headlines, which is fine if you're an analyst and that's kind of what you're doing, drumming up controversy. If you're a player, you can't be doing it.
Stephen A. Smith said he was an idiot for saying this. When Stephen A. Smith's like, that was dumb, you shouldn't have brought race up here, that's a fucking problem. You overstepped some line.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's crazy to think that black players would be treated differently. I could see a scenario in the world where black players are treated differently than white players, because that's reality.
Right, there's definitely times to bring it up. This one doesn't really make too much sense. When all the cases that have gone before a judge to get overturned, it's almost exclusively black players. It was who was it? Will Smith, Vilma, Hargrove in New Orleans, AP, Ray Rice. I think Fujita was in New Orleans too. But it's a vastly majority of black players who all got overturned. It's kind of a weird time to bring it up.
You're being racist again.
What are you talking? God damn it!
You just said all. You said all the things.
All of them. You said all of them.
Damn, all of those people. All the controversies, black people.
Next up, to USC running back freshman was literally physically homesick because he didn't have Whataburger or Texas barbecue. They didn't have any of that at USC, and it was making him dizzy and sick. And he couldn't play. Dan.
I just don't. First of all, I get it.
You better.
You like the food you like, and if you get taken out of that, if I went to India right now and had to eat Indian food, I'd be like, I wish I was home and had a burger. But he's not in India; he's in America, so it's a little weird that he couldn't figure out a substitute. I also don't understand if you're that attached to food and that type of food. He's at USC. I'd assume he got scholarship offers from all the schools in Texas. You'd think he'd be like, I'm so obsessed with Whataburger, maybe I'll go to Baylor or TCU or Texas. But I guess that never even dawned on him until he showed up in California. He probably was like Marshawn, or no, who in fuck. Never mind, pass. Oh, it was someone thought they were living in New York City when they got drafted by the Bills. Who was that?
Oh, that was Marshawn.
Yeah, that was Marshawn.
Yeah, Marshawn was shocked, and then he fixed it and fell in love with Applebee's.
Right. So he probably thought that that Southern California was like a suburb of Dallas, and then was like, "Where the fuck am I?"
I can understand what you're saying, but I moved from my spot in Manhattan, and I desperately miss my burger spot and my wing spot and my pizza spot. And I found replacements, but they're not nearly as good. And there are times where I feel maybe not dizzy and sick, but my heart fucking hurts. I miss my Rat Bones burger. I miss my wings. So I'm with this guy. Sometimes you don't know how much that food means to you until it's gone. Fucking poetry, Dan. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah,
man.
that dude's never left Texas. He didn't know how much it meant to him because he'd never been away from it.
You also probably thought Whataburger was all over the world, every single place he went. So I don't think he even realized what was happening.
But the thing is, Whataburger is very good. Texas barbecue, I'm sure, is almost impossible to replace. But Whataburger, when you have In-N-Out down the street, it seems like kind of a no-brainer to just go get a fucking Animal Style. It seems really simple.
Correct.
Lastly, Kevin and my New York Metropolitans have been kicking the shit out of the Nats. Kev, let's go. What do you got?
I just get so few opportunities to gloat as the team beating down on a squad that is embarrassing themselves, and that's what the Washington Nationals are doing. Never has a team had a better opportunity to come in and pick off a first-place team and make up ground. The Mets were swirling with controversy, lost 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. The worst pitcher on the mound to start the series against Scherzer. Harvey the next day, with who everybody knew was going to shit the bed because he was all fucked up from the Boras controversy. And the Nats just pooped their pants all over the place these first 2 games. 6 walks in the inning last night. The Mets come back from 6 down. Cespedes doing Cespedes things. The Nats being the Mets. It's just my only opportunity to enjoy it. I think after all my doom and gloom, taking 2 out of 3 here has kind of finally let me realize the Mets.
Oh, what the fuck? I told you I'd walk to New York yesterday, and you still were like, the Mets. Have some confidence.
Because of how ridiculous that win was last night. If you weren't watching the game, you don't quite understand it. It really was one of the best comeback wins I've ever seen. One of the more ridiculous games I've ever seen. And it's now gotten to the point, first of all, we got to talk about my boy Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper. I remember, John, when there was a time when us Mets fans were worried that Chipper Jones was going to retire and Bryce Harper was just going to step right in as the Met killer for the next 15 years. I don't know if Bryce Harper's ever going to get a hit against the Mets. In the next 15 years, I don't know if he'll ever get a single hit, and he'll blame the pitching, and he'll blame the fans. He'll always blame somebody. And at the end of the day, Brycey Poo is stomping around, moping on the field because he's like 0 for 25. It's amazing. I love it. Shout out to Nate and all like 9 or 10 Nats fans out there. Must be really tough for you guys right now.
It was crazy when I saw the opening, the picture from opening pitch last night of a 3/4 empty stadium, and then again them all leaving in the 7th.
Dude, that's my thing.
That's wild to me.
I hate to do attendance talk because I know the Mets have had empty stadiums before. Empty stadiums at the beginning of the game is one thing. People getting there late after work. I don't care about that. Leaving a game early is a totally different story.
And what was the score in the 7th?
I don't know about last night, but the game before that, it was like a fucking 1-run game. It was like a 2-3 run game, and they're leaving in the 7th after in games where it was like back and forth, big run innings for both teams to leave in that situation. To me, and Nate was like, "Oh, it was hot." Okay, it was hot. All right, yeah, Nats fans, it was too hot on Labor Day. Get the fuck out of here.
And Dan, notice I'm giving you guys your shine. I'm not just rubbing in Boston's success in your faces. Dan, kicking the Cardinals' ass, making the pitchers shit their pants, and now I believe they're starting a guy in center today who has a broken elbow and can't throw.
And the Cubs are up 3-1 right now. I'm like the opposite of Kevin because that's just the blind Cubs optimism where we're like I've convinced myself this is a team of destiny. They're going to win the division. They're going to do it. They're going to catch the Cardinals. They're going to leapfrog the Pirates. Everyone's talking about a wild card game in Pittsburgh. No, it's the NLDS here in Wrigley. It's going to be fucking awesome. So yeah, I like mapped it out in my head too. I've been like, all right, we win this one, and then boom, we're in first place and have the best record in baseball.
There you have it. the difference between Dan, Mr. Irrational Confidence, and Kevin is it's actually not so big anymore. But for the last 2 weeks, it's been quite large.
Oh yeah, no, you couldn't get any more different.
Well, it's also nice for the Cubs. We have such a big lead on the wild card that it's almost like found money at this point. We're going to the playoffs. We're up 9 games. We're going to the playoffs. So it's just now your eyes can get bigger, and you're like, hey, why not? Let's.
But it's not going to the playoffs ain't what it used to be. A 1-game playoff sucks.
It is when you haven't been to the playoffs since 2008.
For sure. Me and you, beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
But 1-game playoff, if you lose, is just such a kick in the dick. It's just like, did it ever even really happen?
Now, Kev, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When I go all in on this Mets bandwagon, and I go to the parade if you win, does that take away from you?
Yeah, you can't go to the parade.
Oh, you're not allowed to? Yeah, are you fucking crazy?
I'll be there. Because I'm a Mets guy.
Dude, I will... We are not even going to talk about a parade right now. This conversation is over.
Dude, your boy Clem tweets it every night. It's so funny.
I know.
He tweets the parade route.
I tweeted out the Cespedes shirt yesterday. I said it's a shame you're only going to get to wear it for one parade. So I think we're all throwing out the P word a little too much right now. We need to rein it in a little bit.
How about Harvey? How about your boy Harvey just shitting his pants?
Yo, here's the problem with Harvey. the main problem with Harvey is Boris. Why would you sign with Boris? Tell me that.
It gets you so much money. What are you talking about?
What agent? Do you think if Matt Harvey had a different agent, he wouldn't get a mega contract?
I think Boris gets more money than most. I would say Boris always gets top dollar.
I think Boris, the amount of money more that he provides is not even close to worth the headache he brings. I think he's jumped the shark to the point.
But it's not a headache for it's.
Oh, teams fucking hate dealing with Boris, dude. He has Steven Drew sitting out for half the year. He has the fucking Mets up in arms right now. Boris is a headache, bro. Boris got in like five years.
See, I disagree. It's all about if you have a strong front office, Boris, like Chris Bryant, Boris complained to no end about Chris Bryant not starting in the major leagues, and Theo was just like, "Fuck yourself, dude." Like,
well, and that's ultimately why the fans are pissed at Harvey, is because I think a lot of this started with Boris, but Harvey bought into it and kind of backed up Boris's words. But the main problem, aside from Boris, the main problem with Harvey, he's fucking fat. He's out of shape.
Yeah, he is fat. But that's not a problem.
What?
That's not a problem,
dude. The problem's with your boy Sandy Alderson, who didn't fucking know that there was an inning limit.
No.
Didn't he say he thought it was a soft number? Like, there's such thing as a soft number.
There is such a thing as a soft number. I think that yes, the Mets, especially dealing with a Boris client, should have April 1st had something in writing saying what they were doing. I think that A, they didn't expect to be this good, and I think B, 180 was like a target. And I think the Mets eventually said, all right, dude, we're in the playoff hunt now. It looks like it's going to be 190, 195. Are you cool with that? And I think that's kind of reasonable to expect your pitcher to want to pitch.
I agree, but I think if Dr. James Andrews says you throw 180 innings, I'm pretty convinced when I throw 181, my arm falls off. I do it anyway, but if a doctor says don't do it, I can understand being like, oh, that's the number.
I hear you, but that's the number for everyone. And it's like, do you want to be Strasburg again? If you want to be, fine. But you can't play it both ways the way Harvey did. Harvey was like big, bad superhero, and then all of a sudden was like, doctor's orders, I can't pitch. You just can't be both people. So to expect the fans to just be like, okay, it's whatever Matt wants, that doesn't really match up with the way he's acted his whole career. But the real problem is right now, he's got a fucking gut and a double chin, and he's a little out of shape, and that's why I think he's not pitching that well, which is why I think he's kind of like, I need to be shut down.
Don't be that guy.
What? You want to defend guys with the double chins and the fat?
Yeah, that's the fine. Did you guys see, by the way, the Dixie Days video? When I walked into that trailer, office?
Dan, I screamed. I screamed.
I was massive.
Dude, I thought the shots of you driving in the white beater were bad, and then
I thought the
Simpson Moo massive when he kicked off the couch and he gets his fingers stuck. We gotta cut that in. I don't know who's running the rundown right now.
I honestly thought
you gotta cut that in. I gassed it myself, and it's myself. It's my own body.
Did too. I thought the bus was fine. When you fucking kicked in the door on that video like the fucking Kool-Aid man, I lost my fucking mind. You came waddling in with your fucking strawberries, your red USA jersey, the red hat. I was like, oh my god.
Oh man, was that bad? That was really, really bad.
I announced it to the office. I didn't show everyone, but I went, holy shit. Dan just came in all red, and it looks absurd.
Maybe that's what it is that I can't do the full colors on. That's what it is. It's not that I'm fat. It's that I was wearing too much of one color.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's why I said I thought you looked fine on the bus. You looked fine in your Wisconsin shirt, but you came in, like you said, in the moo-moo like the Kool-Aid man. And it was too much. It was.
That's an easy fix. Don't wear all the same color.
And especially don't make it like the whoa, look at me color. Like when you come in walking through a trailer park, I'm convinced that all of the South.
I was like a brick fat wall. I was a wall that had a gut. It was just
the South, the Midwest. That's just gray. That whole area, everything there, everything you see is just gray.
Just earth tone.
But then when you see Dan coming in with the fucking bright red shirt, oh my goodness me.
The best was I was like I kept on being to those guys like yeah you guys are gonna gain a lot of weight like it's gonna be so bad, and then we'd go out to like lunch and shit and I'd just order like 3 meals and like I'm on a bus, who cares?
Vacation calories don't count, man.
Oh, I got 3 things at Chick-fil-A. I got 2 sandwiches and a side nuggets.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, everyone kind of looked at me. I was like,
Fuck out of
bro,
here.
I just fucking drove through the night. Like I need some energy here.
All right, that's it. No more red, Dan.